So what you're looking for with an attorney, and this is true whether it's a workers' compensation claim or a criminal claim or a family law claim, anything like that, you want somebody who's experienced. You want somebody who's been there before. You want somebody who, in our setting, in the workers' compensation realm, not only has been doing it for a long time, but also knows how to try a case. It's important that a lawyer know the substantive law. It's important that a good workers' compensation lawyer knows the procedural law, because work comp is a unique realm and it has its own rules and procedures that apply, and it's important that the practitioner knows those rules. You also want a lawyer who knows the players, and what I mean by that are the other attorneys, the judges, the medical providers, because it's a fairly close-knit community, and if you do a steady volume of Minnesota workers' compensation claims, you're going to get to know the other players, and that's really helpful because reputations are built on past practices, and when you have a lawyer who not only knows the law, knows the procedure, knows the players, you're going to be in a better spot as a client on the receiving end of that. You also want somebody who's honest. I cannot overemphasize the importance of an honest attorney, and those watching probably laugh and say, honest attorney, isn't that an oxymoron, Dave Kempstead? No, it's not. There are attorneys that are honest, and you want an honest attorney to represent you. Now, don't confuse honesty with advocacy. I have a friend who always says, David, you can put the same picture in 1,000 different frames. So you can be an honest and exceptional advocate. The other thing that you want with an attorney is you want somebody who's diligent. You not only want somebody who knows the system, knows the law, is honest, but you want somebody who's hardworking and diligent and is going to take your case and push it as it should be pushed, not in an inappropriate fashion, but if it's a case that should be tried, you want a lawyer who's going to do that. You want a lawyer who isn't afraid to try a case, not because of their ego, but because the case should be tried. You want a lawyer who's got enough experience and sensibility to understand if a case should be tried or if a case should be settled. And unfortunately, these days, I think it's getting harder and harder to find lawyers who satisfy all of those qualifications, because a lot of times lawyers are not willing to take the case all the way to a hearing, even though that should happen. You say, gee, Dave, you didn't say you need a lawyer who's super intelligent. Well, you want a lawyer who's smart enough, as my father always used to say. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to be a good, effective workers' compensation attorney, but you need to be smart enough. And again, this idea of having somebody who's experienced, because one of the nuances of practicing in the work comp realm is medical care and treatment. And obviously lawyers aren't doctors. We're not. I don't even play a doctor on TV. But we brush up against medicine and medical issues so frequently in our practice that we come to have a working knowledge of medical terminology and physiology. And so again, you want somebody who's experienced, who's trustworthy, who's hardworking, who's honest. And finally, why not get a lawyer who's kind? That's a great quality in an attorney as well.